Hey, it's Coffee Chats with Candice. So grab your cup of coffee or beverage of your choice. No judgment here, and let's chat. If you're new to me, I'm Candice Montgomery, a beauty business foundations coach. I help beauty professionals like you turn your passion into a legit, thriving business by making sure you're set up legitimately, financially, and stress-free from the start. Today, we're covering two big questions for new beauty business pros that I get asked a lot. So, do you really need a business plan? And how much money do you need to start? All right, so do you need a business plan? A plan doesn't have to be a 50-page document. Think of it as your roadmap. So, in the beginning, whenever I started with our first business, that was one of the things that I talked to this small business, the SBA, and they said, do you have a business plan? I said, no, and they really just didn't even talk to me or give me any other support. So I'm here to help you with that. I'm on your side, and you don't have to have a 50-page document. You can just have a one-page document, and it can be very simple. So clarify your vision and your goals. Jot down your top 3 goals for the next 6 to 12 months. Second, map out your key numbers. So you want to estimate your startup cost. So license, insurance, supplies. You might have heard my startup story about our first business with my pen and paper list. So that's what you want to do. And you want to forecast your revenue, the number of appointments by your price point. So how many appointments do you think that you're going to have? And multiply that times the price that you're going to start at. And that gives you an idea. You want to be conservative because we all want to, do 20 people the first week we're in business, but you may not do that. So you want to be conservative. And what I would do is make a couple of different numbers. So like, this is my conservative number, this is my middle of the road, and this is like, what I really want it to be. You have something to look forward to. You're having something to work towards. Third, you want to outline your steps. So you want to take 5 to 7 tasks per goal. For example, you want to register your business by June 1st or get your license by June 15th or whatever it is. But you want to assign your deadlines and calendar reminders. And for me, if it's not on a calendar on my schedule, it doesn't happen. Period. Deadlines, you have to pay attention to that as well. You want to review and tweak every quarter so that it stays fresh. So for example, for newbies, the quarters are January through March, April through June, July through September, and October through December. Those are the 4 quarters broken up for business. Now, how much money do you need to start? So budgeting with confidence means knowing your baseline. And if you're not new to me, you know about my budgeting and what we've done, why I'm so big on that. But if you're new to me, if you have questions on budgeting, let me know because I'm your gal. I can help you with that. So first, core startup cost. So licenses and permits, $50 to $300. It's going to be state dependent, local dependent, depends on what's required. Are you going to be mobile? Are you going to be in a brick and mortar? You're going to have city zoning, that kind of stuff. You're going to have, if you're renting a space, any kind of extra permits for that when you're working inside of a location, but it's not your location. So I have a tenant who rents for me. She's an esthetician. She's amazing. Love her. She rents for me, but she is her own business. She has her own business name. She's just in my building. She just has a room in my building. So that's how that works. Insurance, $300 to $600 a year, and that varies on what's covered. In the beginning, that's relatively easy, low amount to deal with, but it depends also on how many policies that you're going to have, what policies that you need to cover. Equipment and supplies, so $200 to $500 for the basics, over $2,000 for more than basics. What do you need to have? What do you have saved, etc. Second, so your operational buffer, you want to save 2 to 3 months of fixed expenses. So your fixed expenses are your rent, your utilities, software, anything like that that's going to happen every single month, and it's going to be roughly the same. So, your rent would be the same, your utilities would change, possibly. Sometimes it could be exactly the same depending on how your how it's set up with your lease or whatever. Third, so marketing and miscellaneous, website or booking software. It could be anywhere from free to $50 a month, depending on what you need. And if you're a DIYer, you can, I was talking about getting your own domain and branded email. You can do that relatively inexpensive, and you can create your own website using templates, and it can be done. It's not super hard. You just have to have patience to kind of learn something new. $15 to $50 a month for that. Branding, so your logo, business cards, $100 to $250 one time. You can do your logo. You can purchase logos or create logos on Canva. You can purchase logos on like Etsy. I remember my daughter when she was 16 and she started her photography business. She went on Etsy and purchased a logo and was able to brand it to her name. And then she could put that as a watermark on her photos, etc. The other option is that I talked about is that as far as business cards, you don't have to actually have paper business cards. You could do a digital business card on your phone, like a dot card, or I have a Vice card. It's a bamboo card and it has my logo on the front and has a QR code on the back. And so I can just have that one card in my purse and I can share my business information. The cool thing about it is that I can share all 3 businesses that I have from that one card. You have to just kind of change the profile, but that's super cool because then if you don't have, one business card, but you have this one and you want to keep them separate, you have that option. The other thing too is like anything on your phone, like Blink is one that you can do. So like I said, that could be $100 to $250 one time. It could be a repeatable amount depending on if you do paper business cards. All right, ads. So even on a targeted Facebook ad, you can do that for around $50 or so, and that can kickstart your bookings. Ads can get expensive, so you definitely have to watch them and how they're set up. But something for free that you can do used to be Google My Business. It's your Google profile to fully flesh that out with name, business, address, phone, hours, etc. And add photos, because the more you add photos, the more that Google pushes you up in the views. And I figured that out on my own. But if you add photos, and I suggest like maybe 1 to 2 a week, or if you don't have a lot of photos in the beginning, just do 1 a week or 1 every other week. Something so that it's moving you up, getting you seen by other people. I noticed that whenever I would add photos, that it would increase the number of bookings that I would get, the referrals from Google on my booking software. Whenever they say, how did you find me? Google, I ask them. I always ask what their search terms are so that I know what search terms that I make sure to have in my website so that it's SEO optimized, etc. All right, so launch. Total ballpark launch is $800 if you DIY it, or $200 plus for a smoother start. So it depends on what you can use and what you can do without. It's all about what you are going to do and what you want to offer. If you're tuning in for the first time today, I just want to welcome you to Coffee Chats with Candice. And I will see you here same time, same place